Hello, everyone. I really did not want to use my phone. Oops. Hello, 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 hello. Those of you who are in the chat. I'm just gonna wait for everybody to try to come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm sorry I could not use my laptop. I have no idea what's going on. I think I'm having some issues with the internet right now due to it was a storm out here, a really bad rainstorm. So that probably just like knocked out a lot, made messed up the services and everything. So it is what it is. I tried several times to try to do it on the laptop because that's how I can interact with you and actually be typing in the chat with you, but I can't really do that with my phone. So anyway, when everybody comes on in, I'll get into the conversation. So since right now everyone is probably moving around on other channels, having this discussion about P Diddy. That's the hottest topic right now. The P Diddy every day, something new, something new, something new. But you know what? I'm still gonna rock with him because I am a Christian and I believe in innocent until proven guilty, and also the fact that he grew up. I kind of like grew up with Diddy hip hop, you know, the hip hop culture, sort of, kind of, whatever, when it was first giving birth. So he took a different kind of walk with hip hop. He didn't get in it. Him and a lot of other people, some of them are not here anymore with us. Like I liked Heavy D, Queen Latifah. Who else I can say? They came with a different, when hip hop was growing up in the Bronx, and actually Diddy, his family is from Harlem, but they moved out to. He grew up out in Yonkers, I think Mount Vernon or whatever like that. His mother took him out of the city, and they moved out, and he grew up more like in the suburbs. He didn't come up in the streets, okay, but he learned the streets. You know what I'm saying? His mother tried to kind of like shielding him away from all of that. Her only son, because it's just, hey, Frankie, you made it. His mother like shielded him away from knowing about his, life of the streets, because his dad and everything, Melvin Combs, was a very, good. Let's see how I can really. Diddy could tell you better himself if you go move around on these YouTube channels, and he give you some reflections and things about his life. He'll tell you his own story about how he was raised, because he said he never really knew his father, and he grew up. His mother really never talked much about his dad, but he had to find out as he grew older and he started realizing certain things. He started doing some research about his family history, especially on his paternal side of his family. And his father, of course, he grew up in Mount Vernon, and he's from His family was from actually from Harlem, but Diddy grew up in Mount Vernon. And that's also where I believe Mary J. Blige is from. She's also from Mount Vernon, in the Bronx, and that's like out in the Westchester County area. That's like out in the suburbs of New York. I mean, it's the Bronx though, but it's Mount Vernon. You know what I'm saying? It's the suburbs. It's a little bit more of, it's not in the city. And he told you, and this is how I learned these things. I got it from him. Anyway. And the thing is when I met Diddy, he was like maybe like 23 maybe at the time. He was like a very young man. His son looked just like him. His son, um, I think his son is Christian. That's the son he had with Kimberly is Christian. So his son Christian and everything is like, look, if you want to see what Diddy looked like when he was a little boy, that's who Diddy looked like. He's a exactly image of his dad, and it's sad that they dragging his children into it, and people are so cruel, so mean, so wicked. I hope to God they don't have no children that they trying to raise up in this world. I really pray for these people that be coming, that be on the internet just saying the horrible things that come out of their mouth about this man's family, about his children. And did put in his motion to fight this whole thing. Did he? I think he was pressured to settle by his attorneys because they want to they did what they did to R. Kelly, and they feel they're going to try to do the same thing to all of them. They like trying to send a message, like a statement. This presidents of these women, these hard-hearted women, these angry women in power. And as much as I hate to say it, I can't wait till Trump become president so he can just like stop all of this nonsense. Trump already said he's president. These Democrats and I'm these Democrats and these liberals out here, they've been getting away doing a lot of stuff, especially getting away with doing, and a lot of black people are not feeling Trump either, like some black, whatever. But I can tell you one thing, okay? Being that Trump went through the situation he went through with Stormy Daniels or Daniels or whatever like that, the paid escort or the whore or whatever she was, the porn star, and he paid to get whatever from her at the time. And she tried to drag him to court and try to bring him a lawsuit against him and come at him for sexual harassment and sexual abuse. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna say this. When you proposition yourself out there to use your body for sex, and sex is your livelihood, it is what it is. It really is what it is. This prostitution and this prostitution is the oldest profession, with some women that use men, use whatever they body for a living. If you go back into the Bible and through history, even Jesus Christ relatives, I mean ancestries and relatives as you go down the line, were women of that nature. And not saying just because they sell a body and they live that kind of lifestyle that they deserve um to be manhandled and to be stomped out and to be beat up and to be abused and to be muscled and all that other. I will never support that violence towards women. I will never support violence to women. But I'm going to say this. Don't wait 10 and 15 years before you make your claim, or don't wait that long. And they said, well, don't use that as an excuse. Do it as soon as possible. Escape as soon as possible from any. I had these discussions here on YouTube. I have had these discussions that I've seen women who were killed in domestic violence in relationships. I'm a woman, so I would never support a man abusing any woman, and especially not children. Okay? But I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this. Cassie was an escort. She was a paid escort. Okay? She knew what she was getting herself involved with. And, whatever they requested in any of the performing activities. Hey, Daniel, how are you? Daniel Dejanet, how are you? Welcome to Casey McDaniel's channel. I'm not making people mods on my channel that I do not know. I am too sorry. I am truly sorry about that. But I'm just saying, like, you waited for X amount of years to bring charges against or to sue Mr. Combs for violating you. I would not wait that long. And people are like, oh, you don't know what you do. No, you waited too long. And the thing is that once they felt they got away with these women, that what they did to making this docu-series, this Me Too, this Me Too, they're going to try to use this on just about every wealthy man they can find in entertainment, and especially black wealthy men. And call it is what it is, y'all. They didn't do it to Elvis. They didn't do it to Hugh Hefner. They didn't do it to Epstein. They didn't do it to what's the other one name? Oh God, how can I forget his name? The elderly man now that's he old and wrinkly or whatever like that. Harvey Weinstein. They didn't use these tactics on them, but they used these tactics on Robert Sylvester Kelly, and now they're trying to use the same tactics, strategy, and tactics. Get on social, put it out there to the public, get public opinion, charge him guilty by public opinion where there is no evidence, and put up this thing and set up this thing with a Homeland Security can come and raid his house. These government agencies. It wasn't the FBI, it's the government agencies. After this Rod dude, okay, who was also somebody that was planted into the around to be around Sean Tough Coffee Combs, because that was their strategy. They put Cassidy in there, and they planted them all in every one of these entertainers. Puffy, the ones who are wealthy, the ones who have been in the business for years and years. Puffy, Combs, Robert Sylvester Kelly, Jay-Z. Don't think they're not around Jay-Z right now. Jay-Z is right now, he's seeing what's going on. He knows what's going on. Robert Sylvester Kelly, the thing I could say about what Robert Sylvester Kelly, R. Kelly, I love him to death. Okay, I love R. Kelly. I do. But what I can say is that when I was trying to show you this video, what Iyanla Vanzant was trying to do, she was trying to get him the help that he most desperately had needed. Okay, but I guess because of all the stuff that was going on around him, couldn't help him to see clearly that he was in danger spiritually, and he did not deserve to go to jail for whatever it was not for him to. And that's the part I wanted you to hear what Iyanla Vanzant said when they questioned and they asked her, do you think he deserved to go to jail for this? She says, no, I don't. Forget about all the other stuff that she talked about in her work and what she do to help people make a spiritual breakthrough. She was trying to say, he just right now can't see it. But when they asked him, did he deserve, please hit those like buttons. Thank you. What she was trying, I give a lot of stuff here, and you people are, I mean, I'm really being honest to you about what I'm bringing here. So the best thing that you could do is just hit the like button. Let's get those likes up, please. That would be, the right thing to do. Every channel I go to, when I get information from that channel, or I stop by and listen to some commentary or whatever, I always hit the like button. Whether I join the chat or not, I hit the like button. And especially if I feel they're sharing some great information. But anyway, let me move on because I wanted to just get this out. Who's ever listening, you listen. But anyway, like I said, Ilana Van Zant was really truly trying to help Robert Sylvester Kelly make some spiritual breakthroughs. She was trying to get him in a place where she can really Catalina. Hello, Catalina there. How are you? Thank you, Catalina. Yeah, so she was really trying to get him some help because he needed it. Okay, he really, really needed it due to the fact that he came from an adverse childhood experience. My notes. Adverse childhood experience. Okay. And the first thing is that he had needed to come to the point where he says, he need help. And then he did say that. He did after a while when he broke down on the Gil King show. He started hyperventilating and he said, I need help. He finally came to that point where he broke down and he did say, I need help. Because he was just didn't really truly understand. Because it was so much coming at him at one time, like how they were just attacking him. And that's not what I felt was right for them to do. To prostitute his pain and to bully him and to attack him and judge him. And then, because that would, anybody, would become frightened and go into a place of denial. Because you're afraid people trying to hurt you. So that becomes like a place where you will try to protect yourself. Okay? So I just didn't think how publicly they handled the situation so viciously, so maliciously, and then say he was beating and hurting those women. When some of them women put themselves in that position, it's not like he went out there and hunted for them or looked for them or whatever. They had the choice and the options to say no. They had sense enough in their head, regardless of the age. No, this man is twice my age. No, I'm not going to sell my body to get a music deal. I'm not going to do these things. I don't care how he's manipulating me. And the parents as well should be held as responsible because, as we saw, some of some of the letters and the texts and the emails, whatever it was, the conversations that were going on at the time, we seen how Azarel Clary's mother was playing a part in what she was doing to, offer up her daughter. And the thing is that I don't think he should have been on trial for a dead woman. And Aaliyah's been around for a long time, so she had enough time to what I'm saying, during her time here with us, she could have spoke for herself. She had enough sense to speak for herself. And Aaliyah wasn't a dumb girl, regardless of how young she was. She was focused. She was focused. She had sense. And I don't think people should be put on a stage in front of the public if they got something that was damaging done to them. I don't think that should be something that they should have to share with everybody and be bullied into doing it. So I'm just going to say, right now, I'm going to say like this. From what I saw from what happened to Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka R. Kelly, the R&B genius, the R&B king, songwriter, producer, and all of that, or whatever, I can't sit up here and feel sorry for people like Cassie and be a team on her team as a woman who was supposedly been beaten and ard, because everybody knew for 30 years, and the people that were probably like when she was going to work for this company or go work for Diddy, if that's what the relationship, or if this was a proposition offered to her, or whatever like that, I would have did my research. And Kim was still around, the mother of his 3 children, and then we got to look at. I would have say I had to look at all of that. And there was never any marriage when they had these kids. Well, she's been with you, blase amount of years in this relationship. Why isn't there a union? And there's a lot of things questionable about this whole Diddy thing, about these people coming out saying he did all these monstrous things to them. So that's why I cannot jump on the bandwagon with the shenanigans and throw stones and accuse a person who, just because everybody else is saying it, doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Rumors get started. Now, this Rodney Jones, what is more, his attorney is as messy as anything. He's all on social media talking about what Diddy did to this dude. He's all over the place. He's just messy, 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 messy. This man has no real legal, he's not a seasoned attorney. Put it that way. He's just not. He's a messy attorney. Blackburn. Or they say blackball, Blackburn. And then he's up here asking for this large, significant amount of money for his client. For this Rodney Jones, little L, little Rod Jones, or whatever his name is. Hey, Mike, how you doing? How you doing, Mike? He's wacko. He is chasty, okay? And he really not making his client look good in the court. Now, in public opinion, but when you got to go up against the court to convince They probably gonna try to do the same thing, but Puffy already got people. Like I said, Buffy Buddy is out there. Puffy probably don't pay God knows how many judges. He already probably paid how many judges already? How many of the prosecutors are probably going to be screwing up the case? And they already in his pocket. He probably already paid them. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was in the ice cream shop the other day and people were out there asking for his autograph. Okay? with Stevie J. Because he is like, and people say, oh, his money ain't gonna keep him out of jail for he doing this and he doing that. He say, look, you know, I mastered this game. I know y'all like to play checkers, but I'm going chess on y'all. Okay? So I'm already paid me, oh, they talking about the New York, the Southern District of New York. Okay, who's the judge there? Who's going to be filing my case? How many judges are over there? Buffy got long money. In those 5 years that they came and they came to attack Mr. Robin Sylvester Kelly, just like how y'all playing, that's why he ain't been arrested. He got the police station sold out. And that's why they got to keep having these conversations about him, putting more and more dirt out there. Oh, his son, I got to use the word, allegedly some woman. And now they coming for attacking the children. I could go on. I could just say a whole lot of stuff here. But they're not going to take him down easy. And I'm just going to say it. Time's up, time is up. You hear me? Me too, me too. Okay? Me too. Your game is getting old. People are on to you. People are on to the Me Too terrorist group out there. People are on to them. And don't think that Puffy don't got people not even from the United States repping for him. Okay? His money probably stretching all the way across to Dubai. I'm just saying. They're not going to take him down easy. This thing going to go on for a long time, y'all. A long time. And like I said, Jay-Z, he making some moves too. Their time is up. Coming against wealthy black men in entertainment, trying to, strip them from their generational wealth, trying to take away this, take away that. They don't did this for a long time to black men in the entertainment world. And they come here and they worked as hard as any other citizen. Paid taxes, they did a lot of great contributions to this country. Families that died in the military to protect the United States of America. As you go through history, and you think that they're not going to try to take care of their own and run their own entertainment in the way they want to do entertainment and the way they want to advertise, and they sell your products for you, and you're going to try to give them the short end of the stick when they just speaking up for what they feel, hey, what is rightfully theirs? Because this didn't come at Puffy until Puffy came up and said, look, I want what is rightfully owed to me for working for your advertising, your, whatever, for Diego, whatever business, for your liquor distribution. Okay? My kids got to eat too. I want to send my kids to some of the elite schools and universities and colleges and well educate my children and leave a well. And when I'm going, I want to leave them a legacy. Okay? My kids got to eat too. And he said, when he came, he says, I'll fight for everything. I'll fight for my family. And what they do, they coming for his son, the one that looks the most like him. With and coming for his son and saying his son R for some R, trying to charge his son on some R charges. Knowing these hoes probably was jumping on him. Oh, knowing his family got money, knowing his father got money and everything. Girl, please. I mean, people, please. And everybody said, "Why are you so team?" It's not that I'm team parfait. Like I said, I don't know. I don't support violence against women. No, I don't. But see, I'm not talking about violence against women. I'm just talking about how dirty the game of politics is and how dirty people get when it comes to money, and how these people are trying to prejudice the minds of the public to believe everything that they hear. And some of us got to learn how to think not with the world views, but we got to think sometimes in a godly way. You know, if you're going to fight, fight fair. If he did it, he did it. And if he did it, why then wasn't he arrested? Why wasn't these claims made during a certain time, a period of time? 30 years ago, you're going to talk about something 30 years, you're going to exhume this woman's body to say now, oh, before she died from pneumonia, now you want to exhume her and say he murdered her? Come on. He murdered the mother of his son and his two twin daughters. And I don't think that man is that wicked. I don't believe he's wicked to do that to the mother of his children. And people out here saying, "Oh, he think about nobody but himself." I believe Diddy loves his family. He loves his babies. Okay, just like any other father out there. Hey, King, how are you? I think he loved his kids. He wouldn't have done that. You know, take the mother of his children out like that. I don't think so. Regardless to what Kimora said, because she probably mad because Russell ran and got away from it when she was probably trying to flip on him and call, you know, with the Oprah Winfrey and all that. Come on, and she over there pumping Kim up. Do I want $100? You got $100 to give me, refrigerator? You got $100 to give me? Yeah, I could use $100 about now. You got $100? You asking me, do I want $100? Yes, send me $100. Well, if there's a catch, then I don't want it. I thought you was offering me the $100 because I'm up here saying the chat and you wanted to buy a cash app, so you could probably send me $100. But if it's for some kind of other favor, no, thank you. No, thank you. So anyway, y'all. I mean, I'm just trying to get people to think. I don't understand what that means, Toby. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get people to think. Don't believe everything you hear that these women are on their platforms talking about certain women. I ain't gonna call their names because they working for the Me Too women. They working for those. They working for that team. Okay. I could just tell. I don't know what phonum tax means. No, I haven't because I don't know what it means. Please hit the like button as you come on in. I need my like button to start. My number's going up. Okay. Thank you, Frankie. Please be respectful in the chat. I appreciate that. We're not here to talk dirty. This is not the channel for it. This is not the channel for it. You know, it's funny that I was never really a P. Diddy fan, but they don't make me one. By being so wicked, they turned me, by the way they've been coming for P. Diddy, being wicked, the way they've been coming so wickedly for him, it just turned me into a fan. And I'm just going to admit it here. It just turned me into a fan. I admire the way he moves. I admire the way he makes his money. Um, and forget about move all that other stuff away because there ain't none of that stuff been proven to be true. Yes, some people said Kim and him when they fought, whatever. She would get it in. She was getting her part into. She cut him up with a bottle with a with what you call again an opener. Okay, she cut him up and almost slit his doggone, cut his what's that called, that vein again. So that's nice. That's really nice what you drive. That's very nice. I'm glad you drive something that you enjoy driving. Yeah, so like I said, so she is going on to glory, and I doubt very much if Diddy destroyed the mother of his children. And now, who's the little baby? Who's the baby one that he had out here on East on Resurrection that he was showing a picture of his baby, and while his family was on spring break with his twin daughters, the twins. That's what happened. I mean, school was out, and I am an educator, so I know school was out. And father wanted to take his children, to stay last year high school and spend some time with them for the spring break. And so he was with the babies for spring break, and that's when they came and they raided his home. They came in and they raided his home, and his boys was sitting at home, his sons or whatever like that were there, and somebody else, I forgot who else they brought out in handcuffs. It was some other people, and then they went and got the mule at the jet who was supposed to. They said they caught him with drugs, whatever, whatever, but they probably going to try to flip him and try to get him to be a part of the witness on D Diddy and all that other stuff. But Brandon, whatever his name is. But let's see how this whole thing gonna evolve. And I already posted that I don't. I just know who's behind all of this. And Casey Cassidy or whatever, Casey Cassidy was already planted in to have access to have access to Diddy. And so many other people probably was as well, And the only thing I could fault him for in a lot of things is in the way is that you don't throw parties at your house. You just don't throw the parties at your house. And it is what it is. If these parties went on, they said there was yacht parties and the freak offs. This is what K City said. She said the freak offs. He would have freak offs. And to be honest with you, I think they all have freak offs. I don't think none of these high profile these elites, they've been doing that stuff from forever. It's just always been something a part of life. Sex, drugs, and parties, sex and drugs, and women and men with men, and women with women, and threesomes and foursomes, and a whole big orgy, and da 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 da. That stuff been going on And since Jesus Christ walked this earth, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to, even before Christ walked this earth, they had these, they call freak offs. Okay. And that's the new thing they call it now. Instead of calling them orgies, they just call them freak offs. Kinky and wild and crazy, you know, things, and they get on all kind of ecstasy and drugs, and they get loose and they go wild. That's why the liquor stores are called wine and spirit, because it brings out all these spirits. But that's not a good life to live. I don't know if I could be in no bed with a whole bunch of different people and all them demons and spirits getting on me. But that's the way they lifestyle is. You'd be surprised. I told you, the politicians, and that's why they came in there looking for those pictures and those cameras, and like, yo, I was at that freak off party. Let me bust up in here before we take him down. That and see if we ain't got look for those freak offs that I was at. To try to edit that they weren't there. Remember, like when you paid attention to the Robert Sylvester Kelly, when you paid attention to his trial, like the witnesses that they brought on the trial with him to say he was involved in blase, blase, blase. Remember the doctor that was the groupie? The doctor was a groupie, and only God knows the doctor was getting it into with some of them women. Yeah, and if you were there, you were doing the same thing. That's all I could say. You all guilty because you all did the same thing. If you say you were there, and I think I put that on my community post, I did talk about the fact that if these people, at the time, if Diddy was doing blase blase, then why are they now coming after him with all of these lawsuits and these claims, and saying he's did all of these bad things to them? Why now? Oh, because his money paid them off. But I think I would have got some money back then too. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? Don't you think I would have just like, hey, Diddy, I would have put that claim out there in the public then. But now they want to use social media. They want to make docu-series and documents and all of this stuff from 30 years ago to destroy a person's legacy, to destroy their wealth, take them down, take them out of their wealth and everything, and do what they do, terrorize their family members, or go around and bully the people that they were associated with, to get these people to turn against you, not want to be associated with you. This is a new way of trying to intimidate the public. This new movement, this Me Too presidents. It's just a bunch of. I say this to these women that been through some adverse childhood experience, who have been through some abuse and pain or whatever. The only way you can heal is when you try to stay away from things that get into those wounds. You see what I'm saying? If those wounds haven't closed, being a vigilante and going after revenge and all of that, things of that nature, your best way you can heal is go somewhere where you can live in nature and get away from all that noise in your head, all of those traumatic things that happen, and go somewhere quietly and heal and get some peace in your life. Go somewhere where there's no TV. You could go live like, what's that movie called again? The girl that used to live now. Remember she lived in she lived in nature, in a place that wasn't no civilization. and her grandmother died, and she stayed in her world of nature, and how she survived the way she did. She couldn't, she couldn't really talk because that's all she do. She stayed in that baby state of mind, but she knew how to survive where she lived at, and she just couldn't come live in this world. It was too much for her to deal with. So they had to take her back. Jodie Foster, I think. Was it Jodie Foster or whoever who played Nell? Yeah, it's called a movie called Nell. And she lived out in the North Carolina, somewhere in the wilderness. And she couldn't come to civilization. She just couldn't live in civilization. So I just say certain professions may not be for you if you've been a victim of certain kind of things that caused a lot of trauma to your life. You just need to get away from it until you can regulate, until you know how to. And sometimes if you feel you ain't gonna never be right, that's what I say. Go live, get your money, go live in some place like in a doggone cabin. You might have to deal with some bears, and you might have to deal with some wooded animals and all of that stuff. But sometimes people that been traumatized and lived through certain life experience, they need to go live in nature. They need to get away from the noise. They need to go someplace where there's no civilization. I mean, not, when I say not civil, it could be civilization, but really no television, no TV, just stay in your own little place, private, away from the noise. It was another movie. I just read the book. I read the book and I saw the movie. The book is detailed more about this. It was called something about the something. Oh my God. But she was abandoned, left on her own. Her father was abusive. The mother left because the father used to abuse the mother. He was an alcoholic. He was abusive, and then and all the other children, when they got to the point where they could get away, they got away too. But she's the only one who remained and stayed, and tried to take care of the father and everything, and stay there and deal with it, deal with her life that was there. But in order to get to where they lived at, you needed a boat. They lived like in a swamp place. I wouldn't even say swamp, but they lived somewhere where it was nothing but um yeah, it was swamp. I would say swamp. It was an island, so it was somewhere in North Carolina, somewhere, and a little town in North Carolina. So then she does meet a boyfriend out there and stuff like that. She do meet somebody because they try to send her to school. She couldn't. She went to school, but she was just so she just didn't feel she needed to be in school with other kids. But she knew how to study nature. She knew how to build birds. She knew how to draw birds and write. I mean, her books, her drawings, and everything. And then that's when she meet this boyfriend from another place of the world, and he went off to college. He goes off to college and everything, but of course he couldn't take her with him at the time because she didn't fit in that world. Her life was just too pure, too innocent, too delicate, too sweet, something beautiful. He didn't want to destroy her, bringing her into the world where he was with all that stuff. So she just, what is the name of that movie? I wish I could tell you the movie. I saw it on actually I saw it on Netflix, but I read the book. So afterwards and everything, what happens is that when the boyfriend goes away, he never returns. Um, this other dude that hears about her, they called her. They had some kind of name for her because they felt she was weird because she never really, was like they were. She wasn't in society like they were. She wasn't in a place civilized like where they were. But anyway, um, it was a black couple and everything, a black family, husband and wife, that ran a little store business and stuff. That's where she used to go and pick up her stuff when she come in town. She would always go there. If she wanted to buy food, she needed to get things or whatever. So that's where she would go. Anyway, so and how she would make a living is that She would, dig from the dirt. She'll bring in like she'll go buy what you call, like, she had the skill where she could go and get clams, I mean oysters and stuff. She used to sell to this store and stuff. She used to bring it in. And that's what her father used to do. Her father taught her. So she knew how to take care of herself and survive. She survived in that wilderness by herself. Even they was trying to come and take her and put her in a foster home because they found out that she was out there by herself and abandoned out there by herself. And they came to try to get her in a foster home. That girl knew how to hide and escape those people. She, she knew how to hide and escape those people from taking her out of her nature, her habitat. So, um, anyway, as time went on and she started growing older, like I said, her boyfriend that she had, and then that's all she had in the world was him, her place of peace, and everything. He loved her, and they both loved each other. And she was still a virgin. She never really was touching. He wouldn't touch her. He didn't. He wouldn't have you know, he didn't abuse her body. The reason he didn't do it, even though she wanted to do it with him, but he was like he wasn't going to do that to her because if he would have done that to her, he would have just ruined her. Because God forbid he would have touched her and she would have never, been right afterwards because he was going to go away. He didn't know what he was going to do, if he was going to come back or if he's going to, stay whatever. So he didn't want to destroy her. Anyway, he wanted to keep her safe. He leaves, he goes away, and the next thing you know, what happens is that she goes in town. He never come back for a certain period of time when she was expecting him, but she goes in town, and then another dude she meets up with, and he start, you know, um, telling her how he attracted to her, he likes her, blah 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 blah. That you want to get to know her. He follows her where she lives and everything else like that, and then she finally, trusts this dude and everything and opens up to him and start to allow him to be in her life, in her heart, all of that. But he takes her into town and said he wanted her to be around some friends or whatever to come out and, meet some friends and do all of this other stuff. But come to find out that, that's not what he wanted. He wanted to rape her or her. Okay. So he gets her into this hotel and that's when he tells her how he loves her, how he wants to marry her. He manipulates her and then he convinces her and then he ended up R-ing her. Okay? I mean really roughly, doing what he did to her. And he was already engaged to be married to some other chick. And she gives him her virginity. She don't know really what's going on. She felt there was something wasn't right, but she gives him this necklace and everything. Like, oh, how she did it. She did it so cool. Like, gives him the necklace. And what happens is that he's out there talking about her. He's out there now with his real woman. And so she meets up with him in town and she's like, oh my God. And then you see the real woman was with him on his arm, and then she got the ring on her finger, the engagement ring, and she's like, oh, she says, oh, hi, how are you? I'm his fiance. And then she realized, like, what? You ain't telling me. I thought I was going to be the fiance, whatever. She didn't say anything. She was just like saying, okay. So she just going about her life. She didn't make a scene. She didn't fight with this woman over this dude. She didn't let nobody know what was on her mind, what she felt, how she felt how she felt humiliated and whatever. And so he goes off. And, of course, he comes to her place that evening and then she's like, oh, you didn't tell me about this, blase, blase. He says, because, he says, it's not, he says, I really love you. I don't know if you could really handle the sack if meet my folks and da 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 da. I gotta really, he says, I don't know how to break it over. Lie. He lied. Anyway, um, you know, through all that time and everything, her boyfriend returns. And one day her boyfriend is out on the dock and he heard this dude talking about her. And then he confronts him and said, "Look, man, why you want to talk about her like that? Don't do that." And then he said, "So what you gonna do?" So they get into a scuffle, they get into a fight, whatever. So he goes, the boyfriend goes, he finds her, and then she's not really ready to accept him because she felt he abandoned me. Why you did this? Why you left me? You never, no phone calls, no letters, no nothing. You never came back. You never returned back to me. Da 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 da. Because this boyfriend and her, they knew each other since they've been kids, sort of like young children. She that she fell in love with and stuff like that. But he says, this is what happened. He explained to her why he didn't come back because of the life he found out there. He, you know, wasn't sure if he could really bring her back out in this world with him. And he just told her. So then they start to, bond again and have a relationship or whatever again, sort of like that. So then this dude is harassing her and he's coming around, he's trying to rape her and everything. He tried to, take it from her or whatever, and she fought him off. She fought him off, and of course, she told her boyfriend about it and all that other stuff. So her boyfriend really couldn't do much about. They had a plan. They had a plan because then she remembered when he first took her up there on some to watch some lighthouse by the water and everything, and it was like this loose little part there up on top of that ledge where they used to go, that scaffold where they used to go, tower they used to go up on and everything. She finally she went because she had a business proposition. She had a proposition for this thing about her book that she did with these drawings and everything. So she was able to fix herself up real nice, catch the bus, time everything. How to catch that bus, how to get out of town and be back in town. Do her business, handle her business, okay? Handle her business of doing what she had to do to him, and then still be able to meet with her business so that nobody could tell if how she was able to go on this business meeting and go to this job opportunity that she went on and then be able to get back to do what she had to do and still make it out clean. So she was on trial for it. She did go to jail for it, but they could not find any evidence. And she was able to get off and live the rest of her life in her nature with her boyfriend. And at the end, she did it because her boyfriend, well, they ain't boyfriend no more, becomes her husband. Now it's her husband. And they lived out there for the rest of their life. She stayed out there in that area. And when her time came and she died, and he was there in the house, and he finally went where the place was that she hid the necklace that she made for him. And that's how they noticed that when they found him, the necklace was missing. And he would wear that necklace on his neck. And his mother knew it. And mother said, "I know that ugly necklace she made for my son is missing. And I know she did it. And she took the necklace. And that's the evidence." They could not find that necklace. If they found that necklace, she would have been done. But they couldn't find the necklace. But anyway, back to that story. Deep story. Great book. I forgot. It's called, oh my God. God, I'm getting tired now, y'all. It's time for my Betty bye bye. Betty bye bye. Betty bye bye. My husband is working late tonight. And I have to get ready because I have to report myself. I've been home working for the last 3 days. Tomorrow, I'm back in the workplace. 3 days I was working from home, you know, doing lesson plans, doing these trainings, meeting these deadlines, getting this done, getting that done, what kind of stuff that I can bring to help our program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and writing all this stuff down. And look at all this stuff I had to write down, y'all. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And plus I had a sinus infection. That's why I didn't want to go in. It's a book. Look at the pages. Look at the pages, y'all. And this is the stuff that I wrote. But I don't know if you can see, if I'm trying to, if I have my laptop, you can see it all. But it's like, oh my God, here's a page I ripped out here. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, the MARD medication administration, um, observation in the classrooms, and also resource collection of items. How do we share information about child learning? All of this stuff that has to be written, typed, and I sent it in, and that's what I do for the program. And then they will come, they will look at it, they will review it, and they will be like, okay, we're going to try to use these things. Okay. And one of the things that I was looking at is an action plan to dealing with, um, you know, toxic trauma and stress and strategies and success stories, provide social emotional things of learning, and child can learn how to self-regulate, which is key resources for trauma training before after social emotionally really important to teach the skill to self-regulate. um you have to have a safety plan, a transition safely, people to make the transition safely and everything. And that's why I said when they did what they did to Robert Sylvester Kelly was so horrible, because when you get into this kind of work, you then can really relate to how people, you can, I mean, not relate, but understand how sometimes people fall into these places in life where they have nervous breakdowns, where their body it starts attacking their health, stress, things of that those things start to happen. You know, um, let me see. Like, remember Robert Sylvester Kelly started, all of this stuff, all of a sudden he started developing illnesses, when after his time of incarceration and everything, diabetes kicked in. He had other health issues going on. Of course, they're not going to discuss that a lot about his health in the public. There was some pain on his leg and a cast, and that's how Jennifer Bonjean had to get him emergency help and have her client moved from whatever prison he was at, because his life was at risk. His health was at risk. Okay, because of the stress that was brought on to him, all of these things started to affect his health. Okay. Yep, they started to affect his health. Um, yeah. So the things with happening like now with Diddy is okay. Everybody say his money, his this, his that, but believe it or not, with all of this going on right now in his life, it is affecting him. So he may need some kind of prescriptions of drugs or whatever to numb the pain, to sometimes to have for his coping mechanism and everything else like that. So that's what I'm saying here. So it's like people think that it's okay to go around and just be cruel and mean and say mean things about people instead of pray for people. And I believe in praying for people, because you know what, life takes a turn. Life takes a turn, especially when you got your children out there in the world and you got children you bringing up in this world. You better pray for somebody, because you never know when it can happen to you. It could trickle down, and no same, like people talking about karma, karma, karma. But if you don't pray for good outcome, and you don't pray for it to be, that for Diddy, and you want to curse on, put these curses on his family, and you want to put these curses because you hear some rumors about him doing something to somebody you don't even know. And hell, most of the people that's sitting up here bad mouthing, how are you, BBC man? Some of these people, I'm great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so the thing is that you don't know what's gonna happen to your children, especially if you say, "Oh, his kid." Well, you know what? Pray for them too. Okay, pray for his children, and those prayers will be on your children as well. Okay, because I thought I saw some nasty, ugly things that was said in the public about this man on the internet, and I just think it's just horrible that people will just run. I'm from the United States as well. I'm an American citizen, sir, or I'm an American citizen. I'm just saying, just like you don't do evil for evil, and in God's word, and Jesus died for all our sins because we were born in sin, and we are man and woman, and we are going to fall into those snares of the devil. Okay, and what we got to do is we got to fight to make it. Yeah, so the thing is you gotta you have to know how to fight against the odds, the evil, the whatever, the wicked. Even if these people putting out these BBC, we're not gonna have that kind of conversation here tonight. We're talking on this conversation. It's not about what my body look like. It's not about my attributes. Even though I know you probably trying to be nice and say you look attractive and blah blah blah. Thank you, but no, thank you. Okay, not for this night. Not for this conversation. Okay, so anyway, I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate you coming here, BBC. But we're not gonna have that kind of conversation here on my live tonight. Yeah, so like I said, people don't realize that they sit up here and they badmouth this man. They don't know really what's going on. They just feel like, oh, they heard something. He beat up a woman. He beat up his girlfriend. He kicked her. He punched her. He had her have sex with this man and do these kind of things. And blah, 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 blah. He armed her and da 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 da. We don't know if this stuff is true. We don't. So we cannot go around here bad mouthing a person because of what hearsayers are saying, or gossiping is saying, or rumors are out there saying. I've never been to a Diddy party in my life, and I never expect to ever go to one because I don't party. Not like that kind of party. But I'm just saying the best thing we can do, and especially for Christians that's out there doing that, shame, shame, shame on you, and God will deal with you. God going to deal with you in your season. Okay? That you get out here, you saying you representing the Lord Jesus Christ, but you join in with the gossip and the rumors and the slandering and doing all of this wickedness. That is not of him. That is not of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ said, do not be like the world, be different. And what we supposed to do in this evil that is surrounding right now for the soul of Diddy, and this evil that's surrounding right now for the soul of Robert Sylvester Kelly, is we are supposed to lift them up in prayer and allow God to get them to the man that he want them to be. And don't let what their present in their life, what is happening, be their end. I always go back to Paul, who was that wicked man, Paul, who was Saul, and how Christ had to take his sight. Mm-hmm. And see himself on the inside for who he was, and had to transform him into a better person. And he became the most, I would say the most, oh my God, he became one of the apostles, the most, I don't, oh God, I had the word on the tip of my tongue, the kind of apostle that Paul became to be. I'm telling you, we got to stop this. And on the internet, and as soon as I sign off here, and I bet you I'll pop up on the screen again, they're going to be talking about, did he did something wrong again? You know what I'm saying? The devil just don't stop. But when he go hard, we go even harder. We as Christians, we are on the battlefield for our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because we're still in the Easter season of his resurrection. And with that being said, y'all, your girl Casey McDaniel, I got on here and got cute for y'all. But you know I don't usually do this. You know, I come on here like I just jumped out the hamper. But I said, you know what, yeah, I haven't seen my face in a while, and I've been just like, just doing dark screens or whatever, blackouts. So I just thought I'd come out here today and just be on the screen with you all. But anyway, y'all, you all have a blessed and wonderful evening. Have a great night. It may not be with you in the AM in the morning in prayer. Getting back into prayer. Okay, let's keep Robert Sylvester Kelly, and let's continue to keep Mr. Combs, Sean P. Diddy Combs, and his family, Christian, Justin, Quincy, oh my God, the twins, the girls, the little adorable little girl, the little daughter he has. She's so adorable. That when they posted on, I said, oh, what a beauty. Well, his kids are gorgeous. He got some nice looking children. And his mom. Okay, let's keep the Combs family. Let's just say the Combs family. Keep them in our prayers, and let's keep Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly and the Kelly family also in our prayers. To God be the glory. Love you all. God bless and peace.